You know, there's this hidden world you visit every single night. It's like a strange, forgotten country of the mind that exists in those few moments just as you're drifting off to sleep. And it's a state of consciousness that's just filled with these bizarre, free-flowing ideas. Some of history's greatest minds, well, they believed it was the key to their genius. Today, we're going to explore how we can hack it.
This is exactly where we're heading. That marshy shore, that borderland. It's this incredible space where the logical, critical parts of your brain kind of relax their grip, but you're not fully asleep yet. And this is where your thoughts become fluid, almost dreamlike, and intensely creative.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? I mean, what if this wasn't just some random, fleeting experience you can't remember in the morning? What if you could intentionally access this state, maybe even guide your thoughts within it, and bring back insights you never ever knew you had? To understand how this could even be possible, let's start with one of history's most prolific inventors. Turns out he had this surprisingly low-tech method for tapping into this exact mental state. That's right, Thomas Edison. He wasn't just sitting around, waiting for inspiration to strike. No, he actively hunted for it in a state he called his genius gap. So whenever he was stuck on a really tough problem, he'd take a nap, completely convinced the solution was just waiting for him right there at the edge of sleep. And this is how he did it. It is so simple. It's absolutely brilliant. He'd sit in his chair, holding a heavy steel ball in his hand. As he started to drift off, his muscles would relax, his hand would naturally open, and cling, the ball would hit a metal plate he placed on the floor. It woke him up at the absolute perfect moment, right after his mind had been wandering in that creative sweet spot, letting him grab those ideas before they just vanished.
Now, what's really fascinating is that Edison was intuitively tapping into a specific, measurable stage of sleep. Science, of course, has since caught up, and we now actually have a name for this so-called genius gap.
And that term is hypnagogia. It's the very first stage of sleep, which scientists call N1. Now, this isn't deep sleep. Think of it more like the entry ramp. Your brain starts producing these different brainwaves, and your thinking becomes incredibly fluid and associative. You start making these wild connections you just wouldn't make when you're fully awake. This chart really shows that falling asleep isn't like an on-off switch. Our brainwaves literally change shape. When you're awake and alert, they're fast and jagged. But as you enter that first stage of sleep, that hypnagogia state, they slow way down into what are called theta waves. So Edison's whole trick was designed to wake him up right in that sweet spot, just before he fell any deeper. And believe it or not, it gets even more detailed than that. Researchers have broken down that initial fall into sleep into 9 distinct microstages. This just goes to show that drifting off isn't one single event. It's this gradual, flowing process, a slow, gentle letting go of conscious control. Okay, so if Edison had a simple mechanical trick, what does the 21st century version of that look like? How can modern technology give us a more precise, more reliable way to access this incredible state? So let's look at how the modern approach improves on Edison's. I mean, his method was clever, for sure, but also kind of crude, right? It was one signal, one very abrupt wake-up. The modern version, this device from MIT called Dormio, is digital and way more precise. It uses multiple biosensors, and it allows for repeated, gentle interactions with the dreaming mind. So here's how it works. A wearable glove tracks all these signals that change as you fall asleep. Your heart rate starts to slow down, your muscles relax, and even the conductivity of your skin shifts. When the device's algorithm detects that you finally entered hypnagogia, it doesn't drop a steel ball. Instead, it plays a pre-recorded audio cue. And the data really proves that this thing works. I mean, look at these charts. You can see clear, measurable differences in heart rate and muscle tension between subjects who reported being asleep and those who are still awake. The bottom line is, the device can reliably tell the exact moment you've crossed that border into sleep. Okay, this is where it gets truly mind-bending. Once you can reliably detect hypnagogia, you can start to interact with it. So researchers use the Dormio device to try something called dream incubation, which is basically planting the seed of an idea into someone's mind right as they fall asleep. So imagine this. The device detects the user as entering that perfect state, and it gently plays this prompt, a simple, totally neutral word, fork. It then asks them to just report what's going through their mind. And the response is anything but neutral. The subject's mind took that simple word fork and just wove it into this wild, associative story. A monkey, a secret agent, a pumpkin. This is the hypnagogic mind at work. It doesn't think in straight lines. It creates these bizarre, amazing connections. And then, in a later report,
The same subject mumbled this. A simple piece of cutlery suddenly became this potent political symbol. I mean, where on earth did that come from?
Well, the crucial part is what happened when he woke up. The subject, who was from India, explained that for him, forks had always kind of represented a form of Western elitism. But then he realized something profound. He said he'd always felt this way about forks, but he never consciously knew it until his dream brought it to the surface. It was like Hypnagogia had given him a key to unlock his own hidden thought. So this is obviously more than just a cool party trick. The ability to systematically access and influence our own hypnagogic states, well, it opens up a whole new territory for exploration. But it also comes with some really serious questions we need to ask. First, the potential upside is just enormous. Imagine being able to get a creative boost on demand to solve a difficult problem, just like Edison did. Or using this as a tool for therapy or self-exploration to finally understand the parts of yourself that your conscious mind keeps buried. It's a whole new frontier for understanding our own inner worlds. But there's a dark side. The very researchers who developed this technology say they've already been approached by corporations. And why? Because they are interested in creating subconscious emotional ties to their products. Just imagine a dream about a refreshing can of soda planted there by an ad you heard just as you were falling asleep. And this isn't some new fear. In the book Brave New World, this exact idea, they called it hypnopedia or sleep teaching, was used for social conditioning. The government would whisper propaganda into the ears of sleeping children to groom them for their place in society. That fictional warning, well, it feels suddenly much more real when the technology to do it is sitting in a lab right now. So we'll leave you with this. This technology puts a powerful tool for self-discovery in our hands, but it also raises these profound ethical questions about the last truly private space we have, our own minds. So think about it. If you could steer your own dreams tonight, what problem would you try to solve? What part of yourself would you want to explore?